I would like to buy a Daytona.
Yes, it's unfortunately no joke. If you ask your authorized dealer for a steel Daytona, you're more likely to get laughed at than to actually buy one. Rolex ADs have their own rules. Some models like the Daytona or the Pepsi are nearly impossible to obtain for new customer. So your first visit to a Rolex can sometimes be more frustrating than expected. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's not only in your head, it is really frustrating and pretty infuriating that at some shops you feel like an idiot just asking about your dream watch. But I keep getting questions from many of you on Instagram, via email, or just here on YouTube asking, hey, what Rolex model can I actually ask for? What are the watches that are actually possible to buy with a fairly short amount of wait time, where at the same time you also don't burn lots of money when buying it? For example, a full gold Submariner, which you can get for retail price at about 8,300, is comparatively easy to buy. But unfortunately, the moment you leave the store, the watch is worth a few €1,000 less than what you have paid for. And it's something to keep in mind if you are planning to reuse that money for a different watch later on, because you want to keep changing your collection. So that's why in this video I want to show you 5 watches that are perfect as your first or next watch maybe from a Rolex AD, so that you can start with as few frustrating situations as possible. And a little tip, watch number 4 in today's video is a little secret, because many of them have been added to AD's stock recently, even though it is a very popular watch. And at the end of this video I will also give you some advice on how to ask for watches like that, so everyone who is totally new to this can have some starting off point. And that's it, let's get started. So watch number 1 will surely make many of you happy, because it's the newly introduced GMT Master 2 126713 GRNR. The watch comes in steel and yellow gold on a Jubilee bracelet. How do I know that you can get this watch relatively easy? Well, 3 reasons speak for it. First one, I have received messages from lots of followers who surprisingly, got this watch within a few weeks of asking. Second, the watch is a novelty. Rolex introduced this watch in March this year, and new Rolex models are often delivered, more frequently within their first year of being presented. And number 3, third, the market price of the watch is not much above the retail price. The retail price of the watch is 16,150 euro. You can currently get this watch from a grey market dealer pre-owned for about 2,000 more, and even less if you're going for a private seller. That's why not everyone who is offered this watch by their AD actually accepts it, as it doesn't yield much profit for private buyers. But if you really like the watch, it's a great first Rolex, a bit more eye-catching, and still holds good value at the retail price. So if you like the GMT, it is a very good first watch to inquire about, with decent chances of getting it. And let's continue right away with watch number 2, the Rolex Explorer 2. The Explorer 2 has always been a bit of a kind of like a hidden gem. During the Rolex hype in 2020 and 21, it was sometimes hard to find, but now, especially in the pre-owned market, it's selling for just around or even sometimes below retail price. You can get a new one at retail, perhaps a few hundred or just over 1,000 more, depending on how and where you buy it. The Explorer 2 still is, however, much less frequently delivered than, let's say, a Submariner, but is also less commonly requested. Overall, the Explorer 2 is a great watch to get started in the Rolex game. It offers practical features. You've got like the 24-hour display, you've got a date, you've got a second time zone indicator, and that's great for travel. It's also cool that you won't see the Explorer, on every street corner, and it doesn't immediately scream Rolex at first glance, but it's unmistakably one at closer look. So if you like this watch, it is definitely one you should ask about, and it won't be too hard to get. Okay, watch number 3 is the Datejust 41. Here's a fun fact about this watch. We used to work with Chrono24. Chrono24 is the URL's largest watch marketplace, with billions of euros worth of watches sold there every year. And Chrono24 shared statistics with us, and it turns out that 4% of all watches sold on Chrono24 are Rolex Datejust. So yes, you heard that right. Every 25th watch sold on Chrono24 is a Datejust. And that's not just among, Rolex models, but, all the watches on the platform. Crazy. So what I'm trying to say here, Simply put, the Rolex Datejust is the most frequently delivered watch to authorized dealers. I would estimate that, each dealer gets like 50 to 100 units of the 41mm Datejust alone per year. So that's 5 to 10-ish per month, maybe even a few more, depending on the location. And that's why usually ADs keep this watch in stock. However, there are a few things to consider. First, the dial. ADs do not order the blue Datejust 10 times per month. They order what sells or what, brings a good profit at their specific location. In my experience, it is easy to get one if you don't have your heart, set on a very specific dial, but, have 3 to 4 dial options that you really like and could see yourself wearing. And one more thing, Datejusts with diamond dials are also easier to get because the ADs, they do make more profit from them. So, they're more often readily available. Material also matters. Stainless steel and yellow gold Datejusts are currently available near retail prices, depending on the dial. Datejusts are therefore a standard Rolex model, and even as a new customer, you can likely get one with some patience and commitment. For watch number 4, I promised you a hidden gem. A few weeks ago, a friend of ours who works at a Rolex AD called my husband Kai and said, "Kai, you won't believe what we just received with our latest shipment. We are practically giving them away. You can get one almost immediately if you don't act like a fool and maybe, buy something small for your girlfriend or wife or whatever for like $1,000. But yeah, which watch was he talking about? And then he continued. He said, "Kai, brace yourself. We got more than 30 Rolex Submariner no date." Wow. Over 40 Submariner no date watches in one shipment. That's insane. Rolex ADs usually receive shipments every 2 to 3 weeks, so that is a lot. However, it also means that Rolex has recently produced a significant number of these watches and now sent them to their ADs. But there's a catch. The market price of the Rolex Submariner no date is still slightly above the retail price. That's why many Rolex dealers still expect, some kind of additional purchase, maybe like a little bit of a purchase history. However, because this watch is delivered so frequently, you might get lucky, without that actual purchase. In any case, I would recommend asking about this watch if it tickles your fancy. Ask about it right now. Your chances are currently better than they have been in the past 4 years or so. And before I share some advice on how to directly ask about your first or next Rolex, let's talk about the last watch. We are sticking with the Submariner, but this time it's in steel and gold. This watch was trading at over 25,000 in 2021, but since then it has come down significantly. Right now you can get it for approximately its retail price. In other words, whether you buy it from, a Rolex AD or at the gray market, the price difference is not significant. This makes this watch a potential, door opener. The Rolex AD doesn't receive too many of these, maybe, around, I'd say like 10 pieces per year. However, the demand for this watch has dropped significantly because, it no longer offers this very quick profit and, more people are catching on now. Nevertheless, at the retail price, it's still a good purchase, as you can expect to get a similar price, give or take 10%. So if your Rolex dealer has one of these in the safe, there's a chance that they don't have a customer for it right now. Maybe it's you. So when you inquire about the watch, they will likely tell you, the usual blah blah, like it is difficult, there's a waiting list and so on. But they'll probably be happy to put you on the list, and with this watch, the call might come sooner, not years down the line, as some ADs like to claim. The Submariner Steel Gold is a watch that doesn't, appeal to everyone. It's kind of vintagey looking, has this like vibe to it, but I find it absolutely beautiful, especially in blue. So if you feel the same way, it is a watch you definitely should ask for. So now that you know which models to ask for, you're probably wondering how to, ask the right way. And here are 4 tips on how to inquire about these watches. Oh, and please be kind. I know that many of you watching are absolute pros and you've done this a million times, but I sometimes have to hype myself up for, ordering a Subway sandwich. So this is for those out there who, like myself, practice what they're going to say before they enter a store. So let's get into this. First one is be committed. One common mistake many people make is that they just want any Rolex, as long as it's, a good investment. Rolex ADs often aren't keen on such customers. So decide on a watch that you like and let the AD know you are ready to buy. Tell them that you understand it might take some time, but as soon as they call, you will be ready to make the purchase, even if it's not for the next, 30 years. This way they know that when they call you, you will buy the watch. And that is ultimately what they want, a nearly 100% chance of making a sale. Tip number 2, be authentic. Say what you think, say what you like, and don't be pushed around. For example, if you want a Datejust with a blue or black dial, and the AD tries to sell you one with a diamond dial, politely tell them that you do not like the diamonds. That easy. You might slightly, reduce your chances of getting a Rolex in the short term, but honestly, it would be a Rolex that you didn't really want anyway. So in the long term, you have shown that you're not a pushover if you say what you want, and that you're an honest, authentic person who knows what they like. And my tip number 3 is relax. If a Rolex AD tells you that there's a minimum of 3 years of waiting, many people get discouraged. I get it. But don't panic. Instead, stay relaxed. It is just a watch. You could reply something like, no problem. I just like to see the watch in person, and I understand that I can't take it with me immediately, and just, be cool. You can explore your options, and from such situations, it often happens that they can, put you on the list and maybe go faster than you think. And tip number 4 is visit at least 3 Rolex dealers. The situation can vary from, store to store, from seller to seller, and even, from day to day sometimes. For example, if you visit a dealer in a city on a Saturday morning, your chances of getting, your foot in the door might be slim because, everyone is stressed. It's the weekend and they just want to get this day over with. However, if you visit a dealer, in a suburb on a Monday morning, it might look very different. Rolex dealers and people who work there are shockingly just humans like you and I, and they have a good or a bad day sometimes, so they get different deliveries at different times as well. So maintain contact with at least 3 Rolex dealers, I would say, to increase your chances of success, as long as, of course, you are polite and stay authentic. And that is all I have for you today. Let me know in the comments down below what you think and what you're planning to get on as your next watch from a Rolex next. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any new videos that I post. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!